Tia, and I'm here with the glowing Trisha Fisk.
Morning, everybody. Happy to be
Hi.
here.
And so today, as we're coming into the end of the year, where the solstice is coming up next weekend, and the year we're getting in more darkness, which is more time for us to reflect and become quiet and slow. Trisha and I thought that we'd reflect on this year and the term that we picked for this year, which was shine. And I'm looking at, I bought this little sign that says shine, diamond, shine. And it was funny because at the beginning of the year, Trisha and I, independently, we didn't choose this word together. Shine, Trisha said, "Oh, I picked my word for the year and it's shine." And I said, "I was just listening to Rihanna and it was shine, shine like a diamond, radiate." And so we both independently picked this wonderful word. And today we thought we'd look at this year and do a little reflecting on what the shine has showed us, what the intention of shining showed us, and what we felt and learned and experienced this year as we embraced the shine. So I'm going to turn it over to Trisha and let her start with whatever she feels called to share. And then I had a couple of thoughts after that. So, Trish.
Okay. Yeah. So, of course, when I chose the word shine, I had absolutely no idea um, what that would mean or how it would look or how it would emerge
Hmm.
over the year. And so I did one of the things I typically do, which is sign up for a online course with my teacher, Rod Stryker, which
Hmm.
it was a meditation course. And because his thing is always choose a practice, do it for 40 days. And I like that. I like
Hmm.
that. I
Hmm.
commit to it. And I like that I just even the fact that I commit to it more than the result of what, but the results are always surprising and
Right.
lovely anyway. But um so that's how it started. And then it was a tough year uh family wise for me. I lost a sister. I have a brother-in-law who's suffering, her husband who's suffering a mental health crisis. Her daughter's trying to figure out how to manage everything now because they had no clue, manage the money, take care of the house, all
Mm.
this stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's been a challenging year, and I kept coming back, and I have a giant vision board in my office right above my computer on the wall. And um I kept looking at the word shine and kind of scratching my head and going, huh.
Where's the shine? Where's the shine?
Right, right. I'll just keep going. Anyway, then um things did start to shift. I think the big shift for me was I was at a friend's house for dinner, and I met some people that I didn't know, and I ended up sitting next to a woman who's a grant writer. And this light bulb clicked in me. It's like, oh, you write grants. Do you think I could meet with you? And I have a couple of ideas. And she did, and she got very excited, and she got me very excited, and that has
Mhm.
carried through. Um, I'm starting a new company with a couple other people, and your great advice, because you're a great abundant business advisor.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's getting started and getting clear on everything, and I'm just really excited. I don't know. I just no, let me take that back. I do know
Mm.
that this is already happening.
Mm. Mhm.
It feels to me like it's already there, it already exists. We're just getting to the fine print and
Going
getting
through
things
the
written
physical,
down.
yeah,
Right.
bringing it
Bring
down
it,
into physical reality.
yes, but it's there. And so now when I look at the word shine, um, yes, it's shining.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
shining. And right, just like you said, it's all there. We're bringing it into the physical world. And of course, there's always, little bumps and detours and stuff like that when you're manifesting something from it just being an idea. But it's there. It's there. And I've gotten through my meditations and through interactions with people I've recently met and spoken to about this and shared with, I've gotten that reinforcement that yes, it's there. So
Mm.
yeah.
I
So
love
I'm and
that. I thank you.
yeah,
Finish your statement, though. Sorry.
I was going to say, so the family stuff is kind of painful because it's the holidays, but I'm starting to look at it like this year will be the grieving for what's lost, but I'm starting to look at it like how do I want to how do I want that to look?
Hmm.
So next year going into 2026, how do I want those family holidays and so how do I want them to look now for who I am now and the family I have now? So lots of changes, um, but I'm not afraid of them. I'm not dreading them. I'm actually looking forward to them.
Awesome. Which is
Yeah.
what a power conscious creator would feel. Ultimately, it feels like. Thank you for that. There was so many things you said, and I was like, oh my God, I don't hold on. But because this year we did our conscious creating program too together, and we talked through it while we were on the podcast, and I think something you said a couple weeks ago or a month ago or something about, we think that as masters, everything would be perfect. And, life we just float through life like nothing, but that's not human. We're masters at,
Right.
having a human experience. And when I was reflecting on the shine thing, that was one of the themes that kept coming out was I was shining and there was shit. There I was shining. There was so many shining, and I feel my radiance. And then there's times where stuff comes up and you doubt or you question or you get a little dimmed down, but dim, D-I-M. Um, but it doesn't mean we're not shining. And I think when I started the year, like I always, and I forget, is that I'm not trying to fix myself so I can shine. It's
Well
the
said.
already what already. I think that's my word for next year is already. In fact, I'm in the middle of making a t-shirt because I'm so tired of the if then when I clean myself up, then I'll shine. When I dust the diamond, then I'll shine. When I deal with this, I'll shine. And I'm so sick of the shit shine, shiny trying to shine or whatever, and so and that's to me is what in my opinion this whole podcast, we've been talking and talking, but we've been talking about living your master best self, living as
Right.
the master you are. And the way that unfolds, that is a mystery. That's kind of what does 2026 look like? God knows. AKA us knows. I don't know.
Right.
But it's
Right.
going to be something unexpected. I mean, all the things that happened this year for me, I didn't expect most of them, and
Right.
many of them were lovely and many of them were not so lovely. But the whole time, from my perspective, is I did my best to shine. I did my best to be my diamond self, and that's what my intention is for next year too, is to hold on to the shine, catch it when it's getting dimmed, but honor it, because being kind to yourself is a big part of it. And so I think as we look over a year and review it, appreciating the and of it. It wasn't just a year of sorrow for you and for me. There was so many bright lights. And the sorrow is like you said, it's giving you choice points, it's giving you context, it's giving you new understanding. I learned so much about some of the unquestioned assumptions I was holding about I can't shine until and I'm a bad person if I do this, so therefore there was so much learning around from those messy moments.
Right. Yeah, it's like cleaning off the mirror, just keep cleaning off the mirror because the shine is there, right? And it's if we're going to fully own it, because we're human, it's almost like we do need to go through this stuff
Dusty. Yeah, the
of
dust.
right,
The dusting.
dust it off, the right, dust it off, clean it off, keep shine the mirror, shine the stuff off the mirror. Right. And then the the sense of shining, it's like you refuse to put it down. Like I'm not going to put it down. So what's my next step? What do I do
Mm-hmm.
now? And
Mm-hmm.
right. And you and I
Mm-hmm.
joked a lot about trudging through the mud with the
Mm-hmm.
boots on, and that's okay. Right.
I
That's
just saw
okay
a
too.
diamond. I saw this diamond getting all muddy with the boots. I mean, there's still the diamond there. It didn't go away,
That's right.
and it's not going to take a million years to become. I'm not a piece of coal becoming diamond. I am. I already am. That already word. And I think if we just held the truth of the already, it would make such a big difference in our exhaustion factor, in our hardness on ourselves, so many things that we're trying to, make ourselves learn so we can be better, do better, all that stuff.
Right. Right. And would you share the story about your before you were shining like a diamond, you're in the past, pre this, you were the fairy godmother, right?
Oh, right. And that's still, it's interesting because for people, just a quick, I decided I was going to ask ChatGPT what my 2026 should look like. And so I started telling ChatGPT about me, and go look at my books and go try this and go look at our website and go look at our podcast. And so I was telling ChatGPT I was like, get to know me before you try and tell me about what 2026 is going to be. And a big part of the joys that I've liked, or I've always had an idea of, is I want to be a fairy god, have the fairy godmother network. And in fact, there's a fairygodmothernetwork.com that saved the URL a long time ago because I thought maybe someday. And I was talking with Trisha and I said, I'm going to be the fairy godmother rising is 2026. And I said, but the other option that ChatGPT gave me was, um, Diamond Master. And she said, forget the fairy godmother, it's network, be the Diamond Master. And and so I went back and I told ChatGPT, I'm like, Trisha said I should be the Diamond Master. And ChatGPT said, oh, that's a great point. Your friend is right. The fairy godmother network is not, it'll be a part of, it'll inform the Diamond Master, but the Diamond Master is the whole package, so to speak. It's not an aspect, the giving aspect, which I excuse me, I love doing. I love being generous. But I don't want to, part of the unquestioned assumption behind the Fairy Godmother Network is there's broken people that need help. And shame, well, boy, I can't believe I just blurped that out like that. And I get that there's hurting people out there. They don't have access to books. They don't have access to money. They don't have access to the things that makes life easier, let's say. Um, and so my idea was always to send the fairy godmothers out there, the people who, the grandmas and the aunties and the moms and the aunts and uncles, of course there's all the masculine, but that could go out there and go like, I love you, I love you, I care about you, and and you matter. That was to me what the Fairy Godmother Network was about. And I think I could totally do it shining like a diamond, but not under the assumption that there's anything wrong. It's just I want people to know that there's so much tremendous love out there, and that love is available to all of us equally, and already is there, even though when you're here in 3D, you wonder, doubt, and question like mad.
Right. right.
Is that the one
Well,
you
and
wanted me to tell you?
yes, that story exactly. But again, part of an assumption that we make, and this goes back to our ancestors, an assumption we make is that if we were doing everything right, if we were really good people, nothing bad would ever happen. Our lives would
Right,
be perfect and they would be clear. And so it's part of it is understanding that that's a ridiculous assumption to make if you're on the planet Earth.
right. Hmm.
And get over, get done with blaming yourself or judging
Right, and
yourself
right, being
or
hard on
right.
yourself and
Yes, that
cruel.
if
Yeah,
this thing comes up that stops me for a while, it's not all I need to do is figure out how to get around it. Isn't there an old
right.
story like that about,
Yeah, climb up over the wall, go through the wall. Right. Keep
yes,
stop
right,
running
or
into the wall,
walk
basically.
around, right,
Yeah.
walk around the wall, right. It's that, yeah, that same thing, is accepting and understanding that when we have things come up in our life, they're not there to end us. They're there for us to figure out, okay, right, what's the way through this or around it, whichever feels more appropriate to us. But
Lately,
really get
yeah, I've been seeing the underneath is some unquestioned assumption about my worth or value or my, the amount of love available to me. And
right,
I think my soul is like nothing, there's nothing wrong with you. And everything's available to you. And so anything that comes up that pings me and twings me lately, I'm like, what illusion does it want me what should I pop? What
exactly,
disillusion should I be popping? Because
right,
if it's not abundant, if it's not unlimited, if it's not magical, if it's not, you know, joy, if I'm laying something else on top of it, let's pop it so that and it doesn't, that doesn't, like you said, it doesn't mean that it's not difficult. It's just, I I don't want to assume I was broken and that's why it broke.
right. Yes, well said, well said.
You
And the
know,
other thing, the other gift I think that comes with this is I've found myself catching myself, I don't want to say this. So when I'm poked by something or someone,
hmm
I'm
hmm
catching myself stepping back for a moment and
hmm
saying, "Oh, I was just poked. Like, do I really care? Do
yeah,
I really want to make a big deal out of this? Nah.
nah,
Let's just
right,
let's
move,
just keep
right.
right.
Or why was I poked? Did I agree to something about myself that was inadequate? No, I'm not, I give myself the grace of that's not true.
So let's just
Yeah.
let's let that one go.
Right.
Right. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
feel like
hopping
getting
over the
work.
wall.
Right.
That's just, like floating over the wall.
Right. I don't feel like getting worked up about that. Okay.
No, right,
Right.
right. That's not a good investment of my energy. My energy needs to be invested in joy, play, and don't spend it on pissed because they didn't love your hair. Okay, whatever.
Right. Right.
I think we talked about
Right.
that one.
You're right. We did talk about that one.
Whatever.
Right.
Or thank you for that. Maybe I'll go to a new hairstyle. But otherwise, next.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I think this year has been a beautiful, and I love going back. I love that we have this forum and this context to be able to go back and look and say, what did the beginning of the year look like? Where am I at now? And appreciate that, the experience of seeing shine, um, always there, just me just kind of getting dusty and then undusting and dusty and undusting. But
Right.
knowing the shine was always there.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, it's been quite a fascinating year.
It really, really has. And then,
Yeah.
thank you, Trish. I'm glad we're still doing this. I really appreciate that we have committed to each other to do this. And all people who are listening, we really appreciate you hanging in. I hope that, the things that we talk about can give you some ideas or felt sense that you're magnificent, you're wonderful, you're already, I'll put my t-shirt on my website, already magnificent, already ma magical, and
Masterful, magical
already a
and masterful.
master. Yes, the
Yeah.
three already. And already, like I said, I just think that word just encompasses anything you think you want to be rich, you already are. You want to be abundant, you already are. You want to be glorious, you already are. It's amazing. So that's that already shining. Yes.
Yes.
So excited for 2026 to see all this, these seeds we're planting in this fertile time of quiet. As the end of the year comes in, I wish everybody a tremendous amount of excitement and great, watch the clear the decks from this year and watch they already come to fruition next year.
Right. Yeah. So next week is solstice, and then the shine comes back.
Right? Yes, back to the light.
Right.
We start moving to the light again.
That's
So
right.
thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
week and shine out there
Shine.
like a
Yes,
diamond.
brightly.
Listen to Rihanna. Love you guys.